Nurse practitioner Gina Shaver is joining us from the Minute Clinic over there on Highway 153. And I mentioned right there, physicals are a must. But one thing I want to say about that is because when we think about sports, physicals are required, but we're talking about physicals just in general for starting school. We have some systems that have already started. We have several that are getting ready to start. So answer that question. Why are physicals a must for every student?
Sure. Physicals are a must not only for sports physicals, but also for your college entry physicals. There are some private institutions that require a physical to ensure that they don't have any illnesses, musculoskeletal injuries that will put them at risk. And during those assessments, we can help them out. You know, if they're looking to provide a sports activity later on down the road, we can assist them with that as well. We do a lot of movement, a lot of assessment techniques to ensure that they're not going to be at risk.
And talking about some of those techniques that you do, I've stuck my tongue out many a times, had it, the suppressor on my tongue, and kicked my knee, and I kicked the nurse practitioner back. But when we're doing some of these, sometimes we do take it for granted. It's something that's quick and painless, and you're in and out the door. But what are some of those key things that you are looking for, even just by taking that deep breath?
Sure. We want to make sure that you've got that adequate lung function. Even those who have allergies, they can sometimes have a wheeze when they take that breath out. So we take our time. We do a full head-to-toe assessment. We do a musculoskeletal assessment. We want to make sure that you're going to be safe on that field or in the weight room. Some physicals that we've done lately are for simply a weightlifting class, not necessarily for the traditional sports that we think of. So we want to make sure that you've got that good blood flow. We check your femoral arteries, your pedal pulses, which are in your feet, because if you've got blood flow
I have pulses in my feet?
You do have pulses in your feet.
All right, this is a new hobby for my afternoon. Okay.
So, we do full range of motion exercises, including, checking those cranial nerves to make sure those things are intact. We do duck walks. The nurse practitioners do them with the students. So, we have a good time in the Minute Clinic doing sports physicals.
Now, of course, this is something that's needed for even teenagers in high school, and as you mentioned, college too. But also want to talk about some of the things that we have here on our table, because we have some over-the-counter products. Of course, we got the sunscreen. Always still need that this time of the year. But some of even the Tylenols and aspirins up here. Why are we talking this going into school?
Well, we have our Tylenol and ibuprofen today because if your student needs an over-the-counter or a prescription medication, there is appropriate paperwork that's required. If that paperwork is not on file with the school or with the school nurse.
Even for over-the-counter?
Even for over-the-counter. Wow. And some actually regulate hand sanitizers as well. So you just need to contact that school, talk to your school nurse, and figure out, what paperwork is required so that that student can get the appropriate medication that they need.
All right, I got a 2-year-old, and I've had this question in my head so many times. When is it that I need to take her to the Minute Clinic versus the ER? Obviously for the serious ones we got the ER, but sometimes there's that gray area. When do we come to you guys?
Well, we see children 18 months and older, so you could certainly bring your 2-year-old to us. And if it's a situation where you have a question in your mind, you can bring that child to us. We will perform a full assessment. If it's something that falls outside of our scope of practice or outside of our guidelines, then we'll refer you to the ER. But at least you can come to that first stop and let us take a look. If they've got a fever, if they're coughing, we can do strep testing in our clinics. We can do full assessments as experienced providers. So, and then we can refer out as necessary. Well,
we certainly appreciate you coming on the show and give us some great advice here as school starts, all the things you got to get ready for school. And the students are freaking out. All right. Well, it is, for more information about the Minute Clinic, they're in a lot of the CVS's around town. For the closest one near you, just go to cvs.com/Minute Clinic.